We are here for a linking and learning initiative.
Stakeholders in Ogoniland have expressed strong opposition to the federal government's push for crude oil exploration resumption in the region. These stakeholders demanded justice for past injustices, environmental accountability and transparency in consultations. Following President Bola Tinubu's directive to the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu to engage with the people of Ogoni for a possible resumption of crude oil and gas exploration in Ogoniland 32 years after Shell was kicked out of Ogoni following environmental concerns and other issues. These concerned individuals gathered at a one-day dialogue on oil companies' divestments versus oil resumption in Ogoniland, organized by the Lokiaka Community Development Center held in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. Mata Abani, the executive director of the center, questioned the rationale behind the push for oil resumption. The executive accused the government of ignoring the demands in the Ogoni Bill of Rights and failing to honor the sacrifices made during the Ogoni struggle.
Issues around oil extraction shouldn't be secret. So we are here to dialogue with the Ogoni stakeholders. We need to understand what they know. We need to know where they are. Let's know a path we are driving towards Ogoni sustainability to see how the environment can actually be sustained. Would this move not actually bring about conflict? Will this move not bring about more deaths again in the Ogoni environment? Ogoni has been used as a template globally to say that Ogoni has been able to leave their oil in the soil for the past 3 decades. So why would the Ogoni just change to say they don't want oil to be, extracted? People are transitioning to renewable energy. People are transitioning to more sustainable energy. Why would the Ogoni be still calling for fossil fuel extraction, fossil energy? We are talking about carbon emission. We're also looking at climate change challenges that we're having in the Ogoni environment. HyPrep is still finding it difficult addressing these issues in the Ogoni environment. So we wouldn't want a situation where Ogoni will crumble more or die more. So we want to see how we can brainstorm and come up with a pathway to that effective dialogue, a pathway to addressing whatever challenges that this move for oil resumption might bring into the Ogoni environment.
Country Director of the Natural Justice, Mike Karibwo, emphasized the need for robust environmental and social safeguards to prevent renewed tensions.
The major issue will be how do we ensure that the resumption of oil in Ogoni does not lead to conflict? Because it's a lightning rod for conflict to occur in the Ogoni area. People are really invested in this process. And if oil resumption starts and people don't see the benefits as quickly as possible, then I'm thinking that it might even be worse than when we started out. So Ogoni people need to sit down together and discuss this as a family. So how do you set aside funds for the future? How do you ensure that, do you want to use the Norwegian model? And then how do we ensure that the environment is protected? And we had a very good opportunity to do this very well, to start on a very sound footing with the Ogoni cleanup process.
Dr. Fine-Face Dumnamene, Executive Director of YEAC Nigeria, criticized the government for prioritizing oil production over addressing the demands that led to the suspension of oil activities in 1993, while some other participants from Ogoniland called for proper dialogue and insisted that it must be a community-driven process.
The consultation process they have started may not, like they are saying that the governor said it should have a timeline. I bet them that in the next 5 years, it will be difficult to take oil in Ogoni because the situation on the ground, as enshrined in the Ogoni Bill of Rights, will take quite a long time for them to can address it. By 1998-99, when Nigeria returned to democracy, there were 3 issues on the table. We have that of Yoruba. They have been settled with Obasanjo becoming president. The Ogoni issue, the Ogoni matter has not been addressed. All of this must be put into consideration to ensure that the Ogoni people's wounds are properly healed. Because what we have in Ogoni is not oil, but blood.
In Ogoniland, if they don't change that system, it will never work. Resumption of oil. When they carry their armies again and come to our communities, men will run, women will remain there and suffer. So we must have a voice so that this thing will work this time, not for us to be running up and down again.
Ken never said there should be no taking of oil from Ogoni, but because of the practice, because of the way the government placed us and the pollutions, we wasn't part of it, we wasn't able to achieve anything as people who own the oil. That is why we started a struggle. So if the present government have decided that they're going to talk with the Ogoni, we need to have a Ogoni template and place before them. And if they are able to meet all those requirements, we should sign that requirement and make sure we are not deceived and make sure we are protected. The oil communities should be also be inclusive. And the people who represent us in Abuja should come back home and we should all have a town hall meeting. They should tell us what they said, and then we put our input, and then we'll give a consecutive presentation of Ogoni positions to the government.
The people called for inclusive consultations, justice for past atrocities, environmental remediation, and community-driven processes to ensure sustainable development in Ogoniland.